phone, and it's all over. So listen, give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this, and we gonna get back to it where I was at before this phone went dead and everything like that. But I got it all together. I got another battery pack in. We good to go. We good. And I wanna, actually kind of glad it happened because it's actually been two developing things going on. And I'm gonna talk to y'all about that briefly or whatever the case may be. I even gonna read it off to you. So I just forget. Sometimes I forget I got capacity to do a couple things and I don't do it. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this and then we're gonna come back and talk a little more. All right? What's going on, everybody? Just give me 1 second. I'm just sharing this, guys, so everybody know that I'm live. Give me 1 second here. Everybody, if you're just tuning in, hit that like button. On the replay, hit the like button. I'm just sharing this right now, so you might want to fast forward like a minute or 2 minutes if you're watching a replay after this. I'm back, y'all. Just give me a few seconds. I'm just sharing this. Only been live for a minute and 7 seconds. Just give me a second. All right, y'all. Everybody will pile in here sooner or later. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do one more. All right, so I want to apologize to everybody. I was live earlier, and my battery went dead. It went kaput. So it is what it is. I'm sorry. Hopefully y'all were enjoying that live. I think you were. We had over 400 people in the chat, and sometimes things like that happen. I'm not going to use my little stick right now because I just really don't feel like sticking my hand out like for real. My arm gets sore, so I'm gonna be doing this by hand. You know what I mean? So on this, you guys will see it unstabilized a little bit, but when it's on the replay, it'll be stabilized. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna rip it, and then I got a thing I can do to it and upload it back. So listen, since I was live last time, we had some funny things occur and happen. 50 Cent on his page somehow or another decided to write a letter. I'm live right now, brother. What do you need? Huh?
I fuck with your jacket, man.
Thank you. Believe it or not, in the Bronx, it was one of them little stores over there on Fordham, and the guy just had, I don't even know the name of it or nothing like that, but if you go on Fordham, he had more than just that one. He had it on the outside rack, to be honest with you, so it wasn't like it was super expensive, or, you know what I mean, some shit like that, but that's where I got it from, probably like a month ago, man. All right? Say what's up, man. You interrupt my live, say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Where you from?
From South Africa.
South Africa. Oh, no wonder you want to know about style. I'm the dandy style, you see it?
Where did you get this jacket?
You just asked me the same thing in the Bronx.
Yes,
In the Bronx, yeah.
It
was just a guy. He was selling them he had them on a rack. Yeah. And I just grabbed it.
How much was it?
$20.
How much?
$20.
Okay.
I get compliments about it all the time. Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, you guys from Senegal?
No, South Africa.
South Africa.
That's Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bless up, y'all. Thank you. Have fun in New York. You heard? And I appreciate the compliment. All right. Some brothers from South Africa, man, to stop me and ask me about my shirt. I had to keep it real with them. I was like, this shit ain't come from no boutique or nothing. You know what I mean? I got this shit in the Bronx, for real. Shout out to the Bronx. Everybody be stopping me, this is the little joint I got on. Everybody be stopping me, asking me about this joint. They be like, yo, where you get that? Where you get that? I'm like, yo, I literally got it off another African dude that was just selling it. And I was like, yo, that shit is wavy, so I just picked it up. You know what I mean? It really be like that. Sometimes pieces don't be like, have to be super expensive. Sometimes pieces just be pieces. If you're in New York area, you know what I'm talking about, because we put together shit like no other in the country. All right, so continue on, you know what I'm saying? The shout out to South Africa, those guys I just met there from South Africa. You know what I mean? That was cool. If you guys didn't notice, one of the guys was white, and he was actually South African too, so it's good to see. They might be here for some dignitary reasons or something like that or whatever. I just told them, have a good time in New York. I'm letting y'all pile in here, man. That's why I'm taking my time, being slow with the diatribe. You know what I mean? I want everybody to pile in and everything like that. Make sure you share this, like this as you're coming in. Oh yeah, I forgot to put my Cash App up here. See, this is the thing. Let me tell y'all something. You see, I was just talking to those guys just a minute ago, and I was getting ready to go off on them, right? Because he was interrupting my live. And then I heard him out, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. You're trying to give me a compliment. But sometimes you got to be like that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. So sometimes you got to be like that, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Duke, you know what I'm saying? And everybody from South Africa or whatever. That's why I told you that tether conversation, that's proof of it. I want to say that much. You just saw if you go back to this, if you're just now tuning in, I just had some guys from South Africa. It was 3 black guys and 1 white guy. They're all South African guys. Now these South African guys, they were talking or whatever, and they were having a conversation or whatever, right? And the whole time, you know what I'm saying, he was trying to give me a compliment on my jacket or whatever, and I was getting ready to spark. I was like, you know, I'm like that sometimes, but this guy, he didn't mean anything by it at all. Not at all. He didn't mean anything about it at all. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So sometimes, you know what I mean, I have to be a little featherweight or whatever and, you know, say some recognition sometimes. Okay, so the mount of the conversation here is one thing and one thing only. You are beautiful. This big, beautiful redhead, this man. You know how some women be tall, but they be like voluptuous and shit? She was like that. She was pretty though. All right, so speaking of women, let's pick up where we were at. We were at Cassie when I last left off before my battery went dead. If y'all don't know about Cassie, Cassie wrote a letter to the judge talking about she feared for her life. Now, right behind me, as y'all see, this is 1540 Broadway. This is where Bad Boy was at. Like, I don't know who's in here now, but this is where our offices were for the longest. So when Clive Davis had the deal, you can see right behind me, see that sign that say 1540 Broadway? That's where we at right there. So this is the old offices, and ironically enough, this is the office I started at, right here. And so I told the story earlier, I'll do it again. Earlier, I told the story about how I actually got with Bad Boy, how I got over, you know what I'm saying? So what had happened was, I was literally coming out of Pizza Hut. There used to be a Pizza Hut, not even feet from where I'm standing at right now. A lot of people, if you're in New York, you know what I'm talking about. It was a Pizza Hut, then it became Planet Hollywood, then it became something else. So I was coming out of the Pizza Hut, that's what it was at the time. And I just happened to come out at the same time that a whole bunch of guys came out. I like your style. A whole bunch of guys came out at the same time around the corner. And when they was coming around the corner, they had the Bad Boy sign. It was like 20 of them, you know what I mean? Like, this is real talk. It was like 20 dudes. And so I was like, yo, word, y'all would Puff? And of course, you know what I mean? This is what I wanted to do. Now, the unique thing about me is, let me tell you why I tell you don't never quit. And don't worry about what people say about you. So, I got the most unique story, I think, of one in the music business because of how my shit transpired. Now check this out. When I got with Bad Boy, it was a month after I told a group of friends of mine, well, so-called friends at the time, I said, yo, I'm going to get into the music game. And they was like, yeah, all right. I mean, you know, that's why I tell you, don't pay attention when they say, when they tell you, yeah, all right, that means, yo, we possibly see you can do it. That's how you got to translate it. You know what I mean? You got to change your whole mind frame. So within a month, that transaction happened where I met guys from Bad Boy, the promotional team and everything like that. And they told me, they said, yo, be back here tomorrow. Exactly where I'm standing at right now. That's why I'm standing right here specifically. And so I came back the next day. They came out at the exact same time they were telling me. And from that point on, I ended up rolling with Bad Boy. I'm not scared. Don't ever think I'm scared. So they started I started rolling with Bad Boy from that day on, man. And I had a lot of great times, including recording at Daddy's house, recording studio, traveling the country 10 times over, staying at some of the best places, eating some of the best food. I didn't even know what a boudet was until we was at what's the name of a hotel while I was sweet down in Miami. So, and that's the stuff I show y'all pictures of, whatever. I'm gonna bring y'all over here real quick to show y'all something. This is actually, like I said, but I'm gonna let these people get out the car anyway. This is actually the office where we used to be at right here. So this is 1540 Broadway. I'm gonna let y'all see it from that perspective right there. This is where we used to work in or whatever. And this right here used to be Virgin Megastore, where you see the doors right here. I'm gonna let this lady come through first, and I'll show you in a minute. So this right here used to actually be Virgin Megastore. So we used to come through the back, like you see this guy coming out right now. We used to come right there, and there's another door inside connected. And that door, we used to come through Virgin Megastore, come through that door, and then walk straight into the office. And we did this, we was in this building, I think, about 7 years. So this is where, when Clive got the deal with Puff, this is where we was at right here. So a lot of them pictures y'all see me in or whatever, it's in front of this building right here. And like I said, we was housed in this building until we went over to Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records became our distributor. So we went over to Atlantic Records, and then from Atlantic Records, we went over to Interscope, of course. So that's how it went down. But shout out to Bad Boy Entertainment. Shut the fuck up. So you about to get hit by a car and all kinds of shit. So anyway, I ended up being with them from that point on for 17 years with that record company. And so that's why, me personally, I couldn't just throw Puff down in the hole and be like, I mean, like, you would look like a sucker. Like, I don't suggest anybody, if you work for somebody longer than 10 years, to start talking dirty about it. It ain't gonna work out for you in the long run. It'll work out momentarily, because I've seen it happen before, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, you gotta watch when you pile on. They counted Young Thug out too. Look what happened, look at him, he touring again. They counted, you know, a couple people out, and they come back and they sprout back. And you gotta be wary about when people come back. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're gonna try a whole bunch of moves when I snap back or whatever. I already got some counter shit for that. You know what I'm saying? But I've been through it before, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So I asked people earlier in the chat room, and I got very few replies, so I'm gonna ask again. Today, first of all, we had Cassie. She wrote a letter to the judge, Judge Samarinian, down at the federal courthouse. She wrote a letter to the judge. Then subsequently after that, we just recently today got 50 Cent. He wrote a post, but he wrote the post on his IG, so that really don't count. But it kind of do count, but it don't count, but it do count. I could read y'all that. Let me give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna turn on something real quick, and then I'm gonna read you the verse or whatever the case may be. If you ain't gonna speak, don't say nothing. Whatever. So anyway, long story short, yeah, we got a lot of funny people coming to New York, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Long story short, man, 50 wrote this post, and it was directed at Judge Samarinian. And whatever the case may be, he was directed at Judge Samarinian, whether it be in satire or he was dead serious. He said, yo, I've been having problems with Puff for 20 years. I said, 50, why you going through this shit for? Thank you, Jalen. I said, 50, why you go through this for? So I'm gonna read the whole thing to you. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just pin this. Then I'm gonna get to y'all. Y'all give me a second, all right? I'm gonna open up something, and then I'm gonna come back to you. So, all right? So give me 2 seconds. See, wasn't that quick? I told y'all. I just had to open something up real quick. I forgot something. I was neglecting myself, to tell you the truth. So give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. I'm gonna read this article for y'all and tell you exactly what 50 had to say. That's a wild boy, man. That's a wild boy. Well, how do I feel about 50 saying what he said? All right, let me start it from here. 50 does satire like that. I don't think he really meant it like that. I think it was meant to be taken as satire, and that's it. He even put up a picture of it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It is what it is. I expect her to do somebody hitting your baby moms. Of course, you know what I'm saying? You're going to feel some type of way. You're going to try. That's how we play. You know what I mean? I tried to tell somebody that before. So here we go. Sean Diddy says he's humbled and broken in a letter to judge. Yeah, I'm going to read that in a minute, but I want you to read what 50 Cent said. Damn motherfucker. And it's everybody coming after him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the real thing. I just got 2 more updates. Give me a second. I'm going to read all this shit to y'all. I'm just trying to go through all the articles. There's just so many articles. Shit's crazy. Yeah, here we go. So 50 Cent screwing with Diddy a day before the mogul finds out whether he's headed off to prison or if he gets to go home, telling the judge to think about the general public's need for baby oil. That's why I say this is a satire. The rapper shared a message on Instagram Thursday afternoon, kicking off by Judge Aaron Samarinian, directly and mentioning his long-standing beef with Puffy. And it reads like this: I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public. Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them, this hasn't been enough. It is time to put his reform and adjustments. Despite his trying to teach the class in there, are you already aware the government has spent maximum amount of money on deploying federal agents, which appeared to be an army in 2 locations? Now he's talking about 50's houses. That's what he's talking about. In 2 locations. Later his son, see, you shouldn't have said that. Later his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations, claimed the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers. Like, I can't read the rest of this. This is a satire, like I said. You know what I mean? I can't take that for real. 50 claims he fears for his life multiple times over the years, and he wants the judge to think about the safety of the general public. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here. 50 out here hating. That's my type of hater right there. 50 is out here hardcore hate, man. You know the least you have to go to say you're going to write and it's a virtual letter, so you can't be taking it for serious. It's not like his letter, and I want to emphasize, it's not like the letter that Cassie sent or mailed in, boy, I beat your motherfucking ass. It's not a letter like Cassie sent in or anything like that. It's quite different. This letter was made digitally, you understand? And I don't know for what reason digitally other than the fact of being satire. So with that being said, all right, 50, you got your point across. Ha ha, he he, ha ha. You understand? Ha ha, he he, ha ha. I want y'all thoughts on that, man. What do y'all think about 50 doing that, man? Because, you know, listen, I just said yesterday, I think that's sweet that you kick a man down when he's down, when we've been found now that the man that we're talking about that's down actually, and I'm talking about in reality-wise, hasn't been found guilty of the things you say he was found guilty of. So in the course of, I don't know, democracy in our beautiful country, and you would think at some point or another, right? You would actually think, and I'm just going to say, you would think that now Puff would be looked at as, okay, he's been exonerated, whatever the case may be. It's the ongoing flush over and over and over. And I hadn't read this article before I came to y'all. And if you're just now tuning in, I'm going to read the article over again so you guys can hear it for yourself and understand what I'm talking about. All right, y'all ready? So this is what it says here. Oh, shit. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry. So this is what it says here. 50 wrote this on his Instagram today. I don't know. Please, 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 please. He's got a bomb. Cocky motherfucker. See how quick that works? I can't stand with somebody trying to be racist and I can say one thing. INS! You get what I'm saying? Then I can reverse that shit quickly. You gotta know how to have your triggers when you say shit. Shh. Ain't no Indian man, just because you got straight hair and you blacker than me, gonna walk past me like you better than society. No, you're an Indian. You were part of the caste system. Remember who the fuck you are. Your country is filth. Bangladesh, same thing, filth. Now that's not a racist term, but you gotta keep in mind, a lot of these people that are immigrating, they're immigrating from countries that are shit. And you come to America with your nose up and assume that you do. That's the funniest thing. We got state senators, mayors, governors that are black Americans, and it blows my mind how the immigrant of today is different from the immigrant before. Y'all give me a second. Yeah, see what I mean? Speak of the devil. Ain't that funny right there? That's God fucking with me. Give me a second. Oh, man. Come on, 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 man. Cut that shit down. Thank you, dog. God damn. God damn. Country is filthy. I'm telling you, son. I know it for a fact. I gotta respect him, though. He did cut the music down. You know, that shit will fuck with my monetization. Yeah, you get one of those songs in there, they don't monetize from the time you was live. They monetize from the time you edited it and took out the music. That's the shit. It don't matter what country it's from. They got something for every country. Don't think you gonna get slick and be like, I'm gonna tag something, I'm gonna play something from England or Germany. No, they got that too. They got you. Trust me, I worked in the music industry. They all mostly under one conglomerate, like BMG, when they were here. This is my old office, if y'all wonder. 1540 Broadway right here. This is why I was in here with Bad Boy Entertainment. Cassie was in here. Gene Dill, a lot of other people that y'all know and love and like. We all was in this building right here. The pictures I show y'all all the time, they from right here. Mace was up in here. You know what I'm saying? 112 was up in here. This was camp. So I came up here because it's the day before Diddy's sentencing, of course. And I'm troubled by a couple of things. You know, people trolling online and whatnot. Breaks my heart. You know what I'm saying? Breaks my heart. Seeing niggas just break down for the internet, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people break down for the internet. You know, for a nigga to get 15 minutes on the internet, he'll sell his whole soul for the past 20 years. You've been a real nigga for the past 25, 30 years, and you fucked that all up in 10 minutes. It just blows my mind. 10 minutes and some likes and some views. That's why I tell y'all all the time with my podcast and I promote it. Don't worry about likes or views. The likes and views are from the suckers, most of the time. They're just with you for the moment. A lot of times when you do stories, they subscribe to you because you did that story. Once that story is concluded, those same people usually started at a third, don't come back. You understand? Unless something else is trending, and that's what they like, and then they come back. So you can't put, if all your subscribers put faith in a quarter of it, maybe a third, you know what I'm saying? I go that far apart. Maybe a third, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they have this, I don't know, intrusive thing where the subscribers are everything to them. And I'm like, you can't be like that no more. The subscribers now try to take you down if the moment is right. I've seen it happen with several bloggers. I saw what happened with Umar Johnson. The same subscribers that loved him. Red Sox, what kind of bullshit is that? So this guy walked past me with a Red Sox shirt. I said, Red Sox, what kind of bullshit is that? They fuck with us up here at Fenway when we come up here to bullshit up there. Fucking massholes. But anyway, long story short. We got people writing letters to the judge right before Puff is supposed to get sentenced. And I find that just weird as hell. I find that just like, it makes, you know, when I say certain statements, I'm glad things like this transpire, not only in the media world, but I'm glad it transpire amongst people on here online. Well, you see the sucker shit that happens. Like, even if 50 is joking, I understand. Now, if he would have wrote a letter to the judge, I think I would have put him in that category at that point, of feminine type energy. But since he didn't write it to the judge, he didn't write it realistically. The only people that's talking is the vloggers, or will be talking is the vloggers and stuff like that. I find no real reason to like point it out like that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna read y'all one more time what 50 Cent said about Puff on his Instagram. And I just thought I had to point it out. I wasn't gonna talk about it at first, I really wasn't. But I was just like, yo, that's kicking a man when he's down. You know what I'm saying? And I just ain't into that piling on, kicking a man when he's down shit. I find that shit weak. So hold on, let me read this for you guys real quick. So it goes like this. 50 Cent is screwing with Diddy a day before the mogul finds out whether he's headed off to prison or if he gets to go home. Telling the judge to think of the general public's need for baby oil. So that's why I said this shit is a satire. The rapper shared a message on Instagram Thursday afternoon, kicking it off by addressing Judge Aaron Samaranian directly and mentioning a long-standing beef with Puff. Now, I'm just going to read you what he said, all right? Dear Judge Samaranian, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for the past 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform and make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class in there. Are you already aware the government has spent maximum amount of money on deploying federal agents, which appear to be the Army, in 2 locations simultaneously? Later, his son, who's dealing with his own grape allegations, claimed that the feds had only the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return hiring more male sex workers and keeping the most of the baby oil away from the general public. That's why I say this is done as satire. Only babies need it. My Netflix documentary on the scandalous subject coming soon. So 50 trolling them again, dog. 50 claims he feared for his life multiple times over the years. Nigga, stop. Yo, stop. I find it satire. Multiple times. This is the guy that got shot 9 times. You know it's a satire, man. Shout out to 50. 50 probably posts that shit because he see me say some shit. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, man. Shout out to 50. Shout out to a couple other people out there on G Unit. Don't look at me like that, motherfucker. Jap, motherfucker. Anyway. I'm gonna say it like this. When you see shit through 50 Cent scope, always remember there's a possibility of satire along with it. That's what I like to say to everybody. And that's why I took it as that. I didn't go in You know, most people will be like, they're gonna be like, when the story starts to fluster, please believe, most people gonna be like, yeah, 50's going there pumpy and he's on outside. No, the fuck he ain't. 50 don't fuck with y'all. 50 one of us. He just trying to play nice guy. Oh, you need motherfuckers like us. Listen, I grew up around Italians and Greeks. You need motherfuckers like us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean in a bad way. Listen to what I'm saying. What I mean is, there's some people that won't do what certain other people won't do. And that's where you need motherfuckers. Like, I know people that'll go way more to extreme than I will. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You need people like that in society to let the motherfuckers that are like the predators and shit like that, so they go after them motherfuckers. You know, and not far from here where I'm standing there right now, there was a 76-year-old man probably about 3 weeks ago that got punched in the eye randomly and had a concussion from a random motherfucker in the subway. You get what I'm saying? Now that's a time when you need a motherfucker to punch somebody. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's not good at keeping men docile. You get men too feminine, what happens is they get in a situation they got to handle themselves, they can't handle themselves because they're going to be just like the woman. I guarantee you don't believe me? Call your man one day while you at the house by yourself and be like, yo, such and such, somebody broke in the house, and see what that motherfucker do. See what that motherfucker do. My mom told my sister that before, and it always stuck with me. That was one of the things my mom said to my sister, always stuck with me. She said, call that motherfucker, tell him somebody broke in the house and see what he do. Then you'll find out how much a motherfucker love you. Buddy got a gap on the bottom of his teeth. Hey man, listen, you know what you should do? You should go look at my live yesterday when I was at the dentist while you over here looking at men's mouth, you sensitive motherfucker. How many followers you got? Let's joke. He been here for 1 year, got 1 subscriber. Don't nobody like you. You can't come over here to somebody's got tens of thousands of followers. Yo, check, get him. Everybody get him. That motherfucker, what's his name? Common sense. You ain't got common sense. You coming in here with sweet toy talking. That's what I told you. Y'all gotta watch these guys that be talking about Puff, and they got these connotations that come into elk or something sexual. You understand what I'm saying? For real. Now, I don't call people out like that. I don't believe in calling people out for what community they belong to or whatever, because we're all safe purposes. Here in New York, we know there's people from the LGBT community all around here. You can't help but know them. But that's not the conversation. It's when you use it. I think it's when you use that term and you use it to try to shame somebody. And in all behold, the women are doing the most homosexual things out here. If you really want to get specific, I read an article from the DOJ. I read another one from an independent agency as well, and they were talking about the ever and growing increasing lesbian population. And I also learned 2 other things. Lesbian relationships have more domestic violence in them than heterosexual relationships. You don't believe me? Do the research. You can go to 2 places. You go to CDC and check it out, and there's another place you can go to, World Health Organization, and they'll help you. Women, specifically women under age of, I think it's 18 through 24, represent the highest amount of STDs. You don't believe me? Go down there and ask Texas. You know what I'm saying? So don't let it get you confused. And what I mean by that is, one of those strippers and prostitutes, I remember him saying he thought he caught something from Cassie or something like that. Didn't he say that? What's good, Fred Marines? What's happening? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. He said, hey, dude, just wanted to give you a compliment. You remind me of DMX. What's up, man? You remind me of DMX. Have a great day and amazing. Yo, I appreciate that, B. I appreciate that. Respect to all forms of life. I always do that. That's why, yeah. I think that's weak. Like, because listen, check this out, right? Most females, black, white, polka dot, don't matter. They always got a gay homeboy. So if you got a gay homeboy and he's your homie, right? I'm making it make sense. If you got a gay homeboy, what attribute to society or his pillage or his narrative do you give if you sit up here trying to shame men for the same type of men you hang out with? These bitches even, listen, you want to hear something big? Black women have consistently, I'm not trying to insult, I'm pointing out something. Black women are consistently, black American women are consistently barred vernacular from that LGBTQ community for probably over 20 decades, of 2 decades. I swear to God to you, like, all right, shit like they say, what's the one thing they say, period. That come from over there. What was the other one they say? There's a couple other little colloquialisms and stuff like that, but they borrowed from the men. So I'm saying, how can you bite the hand that feeds you? I'll say it for you again. So a lot of the jargon and a lot of like the colloquialisms and shit like that you hear from a lot of women nowadays that they use in their vernacular actually comes from that LGBTQ community. I'll give you a perfect example. One of the phrases they say, period. All right, that comes from that community. So a lot of these women are grabbing vernacular from the LGBTQ community, yet and still, when they want to shame a man, they will say, oh, that man gay. How can you bite the hand that feeds you? Everything that comes from them, you use it. You understand what I'm saying? Period. That comes from the LGBTQ community. Oh, word my mother. Because we done heard niggas say that shit around here in New York. And anybody in New York know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So back to the subject. That was the other thing that always came in hand when this conversation about Diddy. Oh, he gay, he this, he that, over and over and over and over. When even the strippers themselves, unprompted, untalked to, said themselves, he ain't never touched me. He never even alluded that he wanted to touch me. So where do I go with that? Huh? Even in the videotapes, there's no evidence of Puff touching any of the men. So where do I go with that? What the evidence of is Cassie was into the behavior that they were entangled in. And you writing letters to the judge, somebody, get the fuck out of my face while I punch you. Y'all want us to sit around and act like Cassie is some innocent little darling, when Cassie is from right out in New London, Connecticut. You understand what I'm saying now? I live in Connecticut, and I know how Connecticut women are. And I'm trying to tell you, they're a real walk of earth are way different than New York women. Stop looking at me like that, motherfucker. You're not even American. Let me tell you something. Girls in New London, it's a small town. This is where Cassie grew up at. She later on moved over, I think, to Mystic or Old Saybrook, one or two, which is also very close in the circumference. It's basically New London County. And people from New London, they know I know what I'm talking about. Now, I wasn't there when Cassie was growing up, but I know how the town mingles and moves. And it's a small town, so you got chicks out there slinging for J to everybody. That's just what it is. I'm just saying it ain't irregular for a chick to have a baby by friends each. It's a small town, so it's really nothing to do out there but drink, pour a cake, go to the local tavern. This is New England life. I'm not lying to you. And you better do it before 1 o'clock in the morning during the week, or really 12:30, or 1:30 at night during the weekend. Now this is very different and the drastic difference from New York. New York stays open at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, and this is why a lot of times you get people extra drunk here in the New York City tri-state. You funny, bro. You not even American. I'm not American. Your mother not American. Hold on. Which community are you talking about? That is funny as hell. Somebody said, you're not even American, so what am I? What am I? That is funny. That's the funniest thing I've heard in my life. Guys, make sure you hit the like button 2 times, tap the screen. I'm gonna get rid of that person. They kind of, nah, matter of fact, I'm gonna let you stay here. We got a lot of girls that are getting in the way of real women and their narratives. And their narratives are they really got sexually assaulted, they really had something happen to them. And now you got this pivot of women that's coming in, they want to file lawsuits and things like that for monetary gain. Or AKA, like I like to call it, the cash out. A lot of these girls are old in terms of stardom. You know, we this other day had, what's her name online, what's her name, Carrie Hilson. And I had talked about Carrie Hilson before. I did the setup for Carrie Hilson when she was over at Interscope. So, I'll say this, man. Carrie Hilson is like 42, and she gave up the, you know, I'm not saying that women don't age and they look good. It's only certain women, I believe, age and look good. There's some women that wither like a motherfucking piece of bread as they get older. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta choose wisely. A lot of these chicks, don't nobody want to hear no music from them, to the fact that they didn't have enough demand. And when it was stars, quasi-stars, that they don't generate an audience or more. Listen, nobody's paying $40 for 200 people to show up at a venue that holds, let's say, 20,000, 10,000. Nobody's doing it. So what happens is you got unsold ticket sales, and then that's a loss. You know what I mean? In other words, anything under, I don't know, 1,500 people is a local performance. Does that make sense? Beyonce did who dirty? Cassie? Listen, man, y'all always got an excuse, son. Listen. How Beyonce, what bitter, Beyonce could sing eons before. Beyonce was singing as a kid. There's videotape of Beyonce singing as a kid. Literally, I think she was on Star Search or something like that. She was on one of those fucking programs, a couple of them. Nah, I don't see no benefit in Beyonce sabotaging Cassie's career. That doesn't even make sense. There was another comparison like that too a little while ago, where somebody had said something like, it was some kind of like B minor type artist. They were like, yeah, they sabotaged. I said, how the fuck, how? Some artists just gotta live with the fact, yo, listen, your shit was trash. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ever seen, what's that movie called? Not Above the Rim, the other one, Juice. You ever seen the movie Juice? In the movie Juice, there's this one scene, and he was like, they was trying out for the DJ shit, that's right. And he was like, yo, what's wrong with my shit? He was like, yo, your shit is whack, you trash. We need to go back to them days. Some of these artists suck. All right, like this point blank period, they suck. It should have never been no room made for them. But when you can conform people's eardrum to a certain BPM, I mean, it's possible when you got like, I don't know, man. This is crazy. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Let's get back to Cassie. The music wasn't good, dog. The music was not good. It was warm, mediocre warm at best. I told y'all before, should have been love, could have been love. Y'all need to go listen to the day 25, day 26 version. It's way better. It was meant for them. It was meant for them. Yeah, it was Star Search, right? I was wondering what it was. What's going on? Hold on one second, y'all. I want to read this other article to y'all so we continue on. It was Star Search, right? Yeah, I just thought Carrie Hilson was a mean person. So I think I'm glad shit is coming out now that she's actually kind of like a mean person. All right, so I want to read this to y'all. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, hold on one second, guys. Let me read this to y'all. Sean Diddy Combs made an impassioned plea to the judge who oversaw his trial in a letter on Thursday, one day before Combs is set to be sentenced after being convicted in July of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. I lost my way. I lost my journey. Lost in drugs and excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I have been humbled and broken to the core. Combs wrote, adding, the old me, hold on one second, guys. The old me died in jail. A new version of me was reborn. Prison will change and kill you. I chose to live. Each count for Combs was convicted and carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. He was acquitted of the more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering and conspiracy. Combs' federal criminal case played out over 2 months in the Manhattan courtroom over the summer. I realized blah, 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 blah. So he reached out to the judge and apologized in that sense. I've gotten some more information that says the pup may actually speak in court. And I'm 50-50 on the notion because I don't know if he's speaking to the judge. I don't know if he's speaking to the judge in the sense of pleading. You know, you don't know what connotation he's coming in. So I don't want to speak for him. But I think he's humble. I think he really means it. I want him to know we up here at the old office, 1540 Broadway, where all this started at, man. Bad Boy Entertainment for me. The numerous artists that came through the label, whether it was Mace, whether it was Black Rob, whether it was G-Dep, whether it was Cassie, everybody, you know what I mean, that contributed to the brand of this Bad Boy Entertainment, you know what I mean? But tomorrow we'll find out if this little thing of ours, as the federal government puts it, is over. This is really, you know, when you really take this all into account or whatever, they try to kind of frame this kind of like we was John Gotti and the boys, didn't they? Ain't that ironic? No, we wasn't John Gotti and the boys. We wasn't John Gotti and the boys. Nah, not us. We're sweethearts. Listen, I'm just real tight about what's going to happen tomorrow, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I know a lot of people going to be bugging. I know a lot of people want to see Puff gone. I know a lot of people willing to lie to see Puff gone. I know for a lot of people, this is their last chance to see Puff gone. You dig? This is their last chance. You know what I'm saying? And that holds a mountain full right there. This is their last chance to see Puff gone. I want to underline that again. This is the last chance for them to see Puff gone. You know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's a reality or something that I see as promising for Black Americans or Latin Americans is cheering it on too. I think what you've done is you've shown America you'll go against your own before you'll go against the real bandits and foxes and wolves, which are the Harvey Weinsteins, which are the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch, or which is the guy that animal. Like the guy, you know, I listen to a couple commentators now talk about that guy from Abercrombie and Fitch. I forgot what his name is. I don't want to say that piece of shit's name on my channel anyway. But I've heard a couple people talk about him, and they all, you know, when I heard a couple things about him and when he was doing the little boys, I was like, I'm all good. You know what I mean? I'm all set. What you say? He deserves some serious time. You think Puff deserves some serious time? Do you think Harvey Weinstein deserves some serious time? Because this is his third trial. Just answer that in the chat room for me. Do you feel that Harvey Weinstein deserves some time too? Because see, the difference is, and the distinct difference is, Puff didn't take no vajay. Harvey Weinstein took vajay for over 20-something years. So I'm asking Jimmy, hey Jimmy, you feel the same way about Harvey Weinstein? You notice he didn't answer that. I told you, they have selective outrage towards Puff and Puff only. I'm trying to tell you that. And you don't see it, but slowly as you hear more and more of these vloggers telling lies and gain, you know, financial freedom, it starts to become apparent. These people are lying on them, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read this other article for y'all. I think it's kind of important. Where we at? Guys, make sure you double tap the screen and hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. Also, make sure you hit up the Cash App. It's right there, $STRINGERBELL80. Make sure y'all contribute to that. Listen, I ain't put the Venmo and the PayPal link in there. I just ain't feel like doing all that. I gotta log in and all that, so it's just the Cash App there right now. But make sure y'all support that. That's crazy, right? I say, you know what? I always throw this into the equation. The hating from Black Americans that they do on other Black Americans is just crazy to me. They don't want you to make no money. They want everybody to be poor. I say fuck every last one of y'all for that shit happening. Y'all can have that shit. I don't live around that shit. I ain't been living around that shit. I don't want to engulf in that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to be, you know, hood forever, live like that or whatever, you go ahead and do that shit. But I don't see any benefit where you got men of color piling exclusively on other men of color, but extracting other men that have more worse crimes, like you're talking about, whether it be, what's this guy's name? Harvey Weinstein, whether it be the other guy, whatever his name is, from Abercrombie and Fitch and numerous others. They're not mentioning these guys, and these guys are more guilty. How you doing? These guys are more guilty than Puff by any other standard there is. You're holding auditions for little boys to bring them into submission and prostitute them out. But you get mad at Puff because Puff paid for some prostitutes through a service to please this woman. That doesn't make sense. The argument doesn't make sense. And that's why I said I'm starting to get it occurring that I think there's like 3 tiers of black Americans now. There's these dumb motherfuckers that want to stay in the ghetto and stay gossiping and shit like that. Then there's the semi-intelligent ones that usually fall on the prey of being liberal. And then there's the ultra-intelligent ones that are usually nowadays conservative. I think that's the 3 tiers, and I think a lot of stuff that's out there would attribute to that. I'm not, listen, I done done stuff in the street the real way. You know what I mean? Yeah, crabs in the bucket. I'm not here to fuck with you, but when a nigga say it's cash out, the motherfuckers all believe that's another energy behind that. That energy exists. They don't want to see men of color make it. Think about it. When you go back to your neighborhood or whatever, you might get popped off because you became rich. You see what I'm saying? So that goes to prove you right there what I'm telling you. Man, I don't even say that anymore, bro. I admit certain words from my conversation. We, are, us, them, they. Like, I admit that shit from my conversation because I say, well, what's there to encroach that? What's there to embrace that? What's there to physically manifest and show there was actually something that came out of it except for some symbolic shit? You know what I mean? And I, like, symbology, like, I work for a record label, man. You know what I'm saying? I know the keys to symbology. Look, you gonna like this poster, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You gonna like this artist. That's symbolic. You know what I mean? They won an award. You know what I mean? That's symbolic. Oh, motherfuckers love when they win an award. You want to make a motherfucker happy and smile, give him an award. Congratulations. Oh, man. You can do whatever you like, man. I appreciate it if you do. Don't. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that, too. You came in for some shits and giggles. I got you. I'm going to read this other article in a minute, but I want to pick up where I was at. What do y'all think about Cassie writing a letter to the judge 2 days, 3 days before Puff is actually supposed to be in the courtroom? And then I want to say this, and I want to add this in as I say this. Also, Cassie had now a month and 2 or 3 weeks to write said same letter, distribute said same letter, and everything else that she didn't. Why not? See, when you get trajected shit, and I talked about this story just a few minutes ago, and I'll talk about it again. I don't speak that shit. I don't speak that shit. Get out of my ear, you fucking flaming fucking flamingo motherfucker. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, long story, I don't know. It's some men nowadays, they just so feminine. Like, he wasn't saying the word on it, but you get in my ear. I'm a boy, motherfucker. Oh, sissy ass boys. You got to be a sweet motherfucker to want to walk past another man and start whispering in his ear.
Don't get a drink.
What kind of shit you are? You know what I mean? Anyway, listen. I think if it was that important to her, a month and a half ago, Cassie would have wrote this letter to the judge. Why pick now, 3 days before Trump is supposed to be sentenced? That's whack. And it's obvious. And I think Judge Samaranian should see that shit. Chick, write the letter a month ago when the trial was over. If she would have wrote the letter a week after the trial was over, yeah, I would get it. Because you know sentencing is coming. What do you think is coming next? Sentencing. You waited 3 days, Cassie. 3 days before Puff's sentencing and wrote a letter. I find that kind of cheesy. I find it tasteless. I find it unclassy or whatever. Considering the fact Cassie, had she not had immunity, in my personal opinion, she would have been a co-defendant. And I know a lot of people try to admit that from the conversation, but it's the truth. A couple of these people, if they hadn't got immunity from the prosecutors, they would in actuality been co-defendants, including Cassie. Cassie would have been a co-defendant. Now that's in my personal belief or whatever, and that's how they would have charged her. That's why I said, with Cassie at the helm of this when they were testifying, right? People keep circulating all these different things. Oh, well, he was messing with kids and he was doing this or whatever. Well, Prosecutor Comey, she would have done that. She would have brought it up, don't you think? Especially if she had Cassie at the helm. Cassie would have known about this stuff, right? Right? I don't know. He don't deserve no time, not for what I convicted by it for the jury. Exactly, Corey. I believe the same thing, bro. I'm just looking at my battery, y'all. Give me 1 second. I think this thing came apart again. Yep, and it did. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me plug this battery up. Or maybe it went dead. Hold up, y'all. I think I went dead on the battery pack. If not, I got more of them. Yeah, I did. Give me a second, y'all. I got to get my other battery pack. Or this going to be done. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. What I got? Yep, I got one right here. These things, they last for a pretty long time, but they also go dead real quick in some cases. So, even if I have one that's 10,000 mAh, depending on how low my battery is, it'll die. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to hook this up real quick, and then we'll be right with y'all. Guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen and hit the like button while I'm plugging up my little charger here. You faggot. Anyway, I told you, these men be acting gay-ish. Now, I don't want to say it like that. This is feminine. It's like men are walking past other men nowadays. Hey, girl. What do you want another man's attention for? I don't want no other man's attention. All these women out here, you want another man's attention. Y'all boys better start looking at yourself. You ain't my competition. I worked for millionaires since I was 21 years old until the time I was 38. You ain't my competition. I going home. I'm going on to Connecticut. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't even trying to be funny. But you are not my competition. A lot of motherfuckers be thinking they people's competition based on how they feel inside. No, how do you feel on paper? My credits are MTV. My credits are Hot 97. My credits are Bad Boy Entertainment. My credits are BMG. My credits are Interscope. My credits are Arista. My credits are Atlantic. I can put all those and do put all those on my resume. So unless you come up like that, stop talking to me about money. Like, people be talking about money a little bit too much. And what I find is people ain't never had no money before. They the ones that talk about money the most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, if you ain't never seen $100,000 in a year, don't talk to me about fucking money. I will embarrass your motherfucking ass. You understand me? And I'm talking about after taxes, all that. I ain't talking about you grossed 100,000 and they took 35 out. No. I mean, if you ain't never seen 100,000 at the very bare minimum. I'm somebody who worked in the music industry, so I don't like when people come in and talk about money when you've never experienced that peak of money. It sounds retarded. It's inexperienced. It's silly. Or when you talk about stars that you've never hung around, it's silly. And you're all doing it for a gossip purpose. This is the gossip. Who's the star of the day we're talking about? You know what I mean? Every day. And it's getting old. It's getting real old. I don't like when people exclusively and only exclusively every day just talk about people of color or they don't trust each other or whatever. I swear to God to you, 90% of black men, especially the old ones are the worst ones. You get one over like 60 something or whatever, I'm dead serious. You get one over 60 something, they on the fucking gossip lines with the girls. Hey girl, guess what I found out, girl? Ass motherfuckers. Yeah, 50 Cent wildin'. There's a possibility they could give him house arrest. I don't know if that's a reality, but it's a possibility. I hear what you're saying there. He don't deserve no time at all. I guess so. I feel the same thing. Roz Simsey, you said, can I cash app you? You ain't never cash app nothing though, bro. He deserves some serious time, says Jimmy. I don't give a fuck what Jimmy got to say. Jimmy got bad energy. Yeah, Jimmy got bad energy, son. Yeah, I just say, I hear what you're saying on that comment. I was talking about earlier. I just say I don't see no benefits of like attacking that community for any reason. I mean, like, you kind of look like a punk if you attacking the LBGT community. You look soft. Like, most men gonna say you look soft. Like, I'll give you an example. You was in a prison and you was pressing one of the gay folks in there, dudes will look at you like you were punk. Because there's dudes in there that you could fight. There's dudes in there that you could get it in with. You know what I'm saying? That you choosing the softest person in the prison. So that's how they kind of look at it in society too. Now don't get it confused either. Some of them niggas work out, carry razors, carry biscuits and all that. I'm trying to tell you. But watch what you take through them. Why do you think men just started gossiping? I don't think men just started gossiping. What I think is, I think that in abundance, the way it is online right now, you got tons of men in women's business nowadays. You understand what I'm saying? And like they having conversations that women would have with pink rollers in their hair under the hairdryer. I mean, some of these dudes, they even talk like bitches. Is that fair? So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, one day, I went to go get some coffee, and this boy's voice was just so fucking soft. And I was just like, God damn, man. I said, how you gonna scare somebody breaking your house? You better get out of here. You know, soft voice ass motherfuckers. So you gotta, I don't like soft voice ass men. I think you can articulate, but you don't have to be soft. Soft gives the illusion of other men that you're soft, and being soft and a lot. You gotta stand firm. That's how my dad taught me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get where being soft fits anybody's narrative except somebody that's trying to conform. If that makes any sense. But I think men, they join that. See, this is the thing. It goes back to this thing with Puff, exactly. Like with Puff, I saw everything down there. You ain't gonna do shit anyway.
I do it every time.
Down there with Puff at the courthouse, this was a funny thing, right? The whole time, and I try to reiterate this to people so they understand. I was down at that courthouse with Puff and all that from the very beginning. I'm talking about the first arraignment that he had, the bail hearing that he had, I was there. First arraignment was there. First bail hearing Puff had was there. Second bail hearing they gave Puff was there. Third bail hearing that Puff had was there. I was there for every last one of them joints. Now, the second round was the jury selection. I was there for the jury selection. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is all on my channel. This is not something that I just recently uploaded or whatever. There's a whole history of this on this channel. So you can find it reflected by just going to my live section. Go in my live section, just scroll through there to the time period when it was going on, end of May, June, and you'll see all these videos there. And it'll prove the point. Some of them are an hour long, hour and a half long. Some of them are 3 hours long. I try to keep them under 3.5 hours because most people don't have the concentration to sit there that long unless they're extremely interested in what you're saying. So I was there. It wasn't until the trial actually started, about 4 days in, that everybody started popping up from this town, that town, this town, that town. And there was a lot of women. And a lot of these women had made up in their mind already that Puff was guilty, Puff should be up out of here, whatever they felt, how they felt. I don't know. You know what I mean? Who am I to tell women how to feel? But I know you have the right to feel how you have to feel, but when you start an advocacy in front of the courtroom, that's something different. When I see men pouring baby oil on each other, that's something different. And it was a wild fiesta down there where even myself, I'm on Myron Gaines' page for Fresh and Fit. Y'all go check it out. Go to his video section, scroll, and it's that chick with the blue hair. I was calling a baby Smurf or something like that. The chick with the blue wig. She was down there starting shit with everybody, but me and Myron Gaines, I ran up on Myron out there. So Myron's from Connecticut. So I live in Connecticut and everything like that or whatever. He's not part of my county. I'm part of Fairfield County, but he's not that far away from me. So, shout out to New Britain, you know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, I said, let me go over here and talk to Myron, right? So I'm going over there to talk to Myron or whatever. I hadn't realized that this chick for the past 20 minutes had been actually, how can I say it, harassing Myron. Like literally harassing him. She was flashing her breasts at him, all kinds of stuff. And she literally had her shirt pulled up in front of the federal courthouse. And nobody said nothing. Not a word. You feel me? So I was like, yo, women got this much, like, weight? Like, what if I just went out there and I pulled my schlong out and I was like, hey, ladies, I'm here. This is how I feel. I'm gonna harass this female vlogger. They would have brought the fucking everything out from black, white dude, whatever dude. You see? So when you get to a point in society where you can do shit like that, that means anything holds is barred. There's no bar. And that's how I feel about it. It's like, chick can say anything. I said the last time I was down there just recently, a lot of the girls that were down there were covering the case. They were coming out the courtroom telling bold-faced ass lies or manipulating the structure of the conversation or manipulating because they didn't understand stature in the court of law and things like that. When it came to certain rules, they didn't understand amendments. I read out Rule 404, Rule 404B. That shit took me an hour and 15 minutes. That shit had subsections, sections, and subsections of the sections. I was like, motherfucker. I said, we'll read the rest of this tomorrow. I never got back to it. But that was some of the primal premise of which they used and they were trying Diddy by. And I said that ultimately, and that's how they eradicated, in my personal opinion, the racketeering and conspiracy charges and all that stuff based off that notion alone. Oh, y'all give me 1 second. Oh, thank God. But I think that's really what it was. So, you know, I not only agree with how it was utilized or whatever, was supposed to be utilized initially by the prosecution and got used as a stapling, literally, to fight back with. So Rule 404 and Rule 404B. Y'all can look that under U.S. statute or whatever, it was extended. So be ready for a read. You know what I mean? If you can, I would just get the video version. There's a video version of it that'll read it out for you because it's long. Like when I say there's a subsection and then a subsection and a subsection of a subsection, it's a lengthy, like, complex statute that you can utilize. What's going on? Nah, baby oil. All right, nigga, you doing too much, huh? Why y'all so infatuated with a man with baby oil on? I'm just trying to ask a question. Can somebody raise that question for me in the chat room? All right, listen. This is the question right here. I'm not gonna write it in the chat, but I'm just gonna say it. Can we start investigating why there's so many men out here infatuated with another man with baby oil on him? I just want the church to speak up real quick. Can somebody answer that for me? Somebody help me out. Why there's so many men infatuated with puff and baby oil? I mean, like, that's what they think and that's what's on y'all mind nowadays? That's what's going on? Because that's just weird to me. I ain't never heard no men sit around each other talking about I'm infatuated with another man with baby oil on him unless you were into men. Is that fair? Y'all give me a second, man. I'm trying to get my battery pack. So, with that being said, man, when you come into my chat room and you talk about baby oil, y'all look silly at this point. You look silly. You understand? Not only do you look silly, you look corny to me. I don't really rock with that too much. Talking about baby oil and all this shit. Nigga, I don't want to talk about no nigga with baby oil on him. Fuck, for what? For what? I find dudes like that weird. I don't know about y'all. I find dudes like that weird. I don't want to talk about men with baby oil in my chat room. Fuck y'all on. And it's multitude of dudes. See, that's that single mama ethic. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. For real. That's that single mama ethic. Him and his mama, two trifling ass bitches. Come here, don't come in my chat room talk about baby oil, man. You look funny as a dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Next time I'm gonna really eat through you. I could have told the audience how many followers you got. You know, some of these guys been on here as professional trolls for like 17 years. And they realize you can make money off this shit. That's a true dumb motherfucker right there. Talking about wasting time. You've been on the internet for 17 years and had this profile basically to be a spectator, not to monetize your channel. Man, if you don't get out of my face with that, what's up, God? Niggas don't get out of my face with that. You can't be online for fucking 17 years. Like, literally, I didn't even know the app had been here that long, I swear to God. Some of these guys been trolling, and because what I do is I go and I look at the history of their channel, and it bugs them out. I'm like, you've been here for 10 years, you got 50 followers, nobody likes you. The people around you don't like you. You understand what I'm saying? Some people, it's hard for them to bite that, man. I'm trying to tell you. You can't be an internet star if people don't like you in real life. If they don't like you offline, they ain't gonna like you online. Trust me when I tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? Or you can rock the bridge like I do, and I just plain simply don't give a fuck. Like, it's not gonna change nothing in my life. I cuss my subscribers out from time to time. Keep some motherfucking motivation going. You understand what I'm saying? Keep some motherfucking motivation going. Because they come back, and I appreciate y'all coming back, but every now and then y'all say some stupid shit, and I think collectively y'all should be cursed out. That's how I feel. I'm glad y'all returned. Make sure you double tap the screen and hit the like button, guys. And also make sure you hit the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Always on location. I'm on location again right here at my old offices, 1540 Broadway, home of Bad Boy Entertainment once upon a time, BMG, Bertles Music Group, Arista Records was up in here. Here, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little glance real quick, how our life used to be. A lot of the pictures that y'all see from me that I show y'all, whatever, are from this building exact. So we used to come between here, right, where this door is right here. And there used to be Virgin Megastore in there. It was like a place you could go and sample music, buy your music, physical media, whatever. And then as you see behind me, this is our actual door right here, those swivel doors right there. That's what we went through, whatever. I've been up here a million times, of course, as y'all know, but I don't want to do it like that because it's still operational hours, so I don't like to be in front of the door and shit. But, I mean, as many of y'all know, this is where Bad Boy Entertainment jumped off, really. You know what I'm saying? In a major way. It was right here at this office, formerly BMG, Bertelsmann Music Group. So, listen, man, for me, tomorrow and the verdict coming through, whatever the case may be, it's monumental. You know what I'm saying? It could be just like Jay and his camp, death of a dynasty. But Jay rebuilt. You know what I mean? So it might be up to some of us, depending on how tomorrow go, to rebuild Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? As an imprint and everything else. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Whatever you need, with all my years of experience in the music industry, however scope that may be, whether it's on stage with artists or whatever the fuck else, and marketing specifically, let me know. Like, it's hard to market yourself, but if you're marketing somebody else, it's easy as hell. Like, it's even when I'm editing. I can edit somebody else's stuff. I'm editing my stuff, it's a whole different deal. Thank you, bro. So, for me, man, see what I mean? Like, everybody, he just said, yo, it's a 5'5", bro. That's it. Thank you, bro. For me, this means everything. So I guess in that comparison, you could compare it a little bit to the fellas, I guess, a little bit, huh? I don't know. But one thing I ultimately do know is this, right? Somehow or another, tomorrow's gonna be the end of everything. There'll be no more talks outside what happened. And I pretty much figure if it go in his favor, ain't gonna be a lot of talk. It's gonna be a whole bunch of people disgruntled, especially a lot of certain ilk of women that feel the need to jump online every day and deliver us that daily toxic batch of My Life is Miserable, volume 14. You know what I mean? It stands to reason that women are happy, women that are in good spirit. Y'all gotta start speaking out against these women. Y'all got to. There's women out here now, man, they're throwing false allegations at men. We've seen examples of it. I showed y'all the example the other day on World Star, and I'm gonna show y'all again. There was this girl in England, if y'all didn't know the story. There was this girl in England, this was maybe 3 weeks ago. She accused this guy, great, right? Guy goes to jail, gets locked up, he's facing 14 years. His friend was so dedicated to their friendship that what he did was, he went to the gym where the girl went to the gym at, met her, started dating her, and got her to confess that she lied on his friend. You understand what I'm saying? And so what they did was, they played the video clip on World Star Hip Hop. I found it on another app, and I was just amazed by it because I said, this guy could have got 14 years for some broad that was lying on him, and she thumped herself out. Like that, like even the time period in which they were dating. You understand what I'm saying? Versus him going to jail. It was a short duration of time. There's another story with a chick, you know, she wanted to divest, and she ended up divesting by going and stealing in the mall. I told y'all a lot of times, I said, listen, I ain't got nothing, listen, I done dated tons of girls from every ethnicity you could think of. But it's different when you're a man. When you're a woman, I believe, or you're a man and you're dating women, it's very important in 2025 to watch for one thing. I need you to do one thing and one thing only. And that one thing, see, I love this right here, the guardian angels out here. You good. No, God, the angels, y'all good. You good. You're in good hands. It's New York. It's the guardian angels out here, man. I appreciate that. They in good hands. All right. And they just, you know, walk people around and stuff like that or whatever. Speaking of the devil, see what I mean? I keep telling y'all, it's a lot of that shit going on. But anyway, listen, shorties is up here now joining teams in New York. They joining teams with like, and I don't want to make this sound racist or anything like that, but there's, when you dating women of color, you gotta be careful that you're not dating a chick that's trying to escape poverty. It's a very different from a woman that grew up with something, grew up with a father, she happens to be black or whatever ethnicity other than white. Let me explain. A girl from poverty is unilateral. Girls from poverty, they usually don't have much going on, and ultimately they want you to take care of them at a minimal cost. I know this very well. I done spent years putting bitches in condos and all kinds of shit respectfully, and they never had a bad thing to say about me ever. All right? So, with that being said, a lot of women come from poverty, and they'll do anything in their mind not to go back to that poverty. And if that means ringing your bank account before they go, they will do so. Now I know a knuckle, personally. I know one of my partners, man, personally got rained out like that or whatever. It could happen to you too. So don't think it can't happen to you, especially get some babies involved. So for the younger dudes, I'm gonna tell you like this, from somebody, I stayed with somebody for 8 years, right? Great girl, I ain't got nothing bad to say about her. I wouldn't say nothing bad. I've never said anything bad about her on here. You know what I'm saying? I love her. She was born and raised Muslim. She's a black woman. She was cool. You know, shit just don't work out sometimes. I moved her in with me. You understand what I mean? So that's the first thing. A lot of y'all be out here trying to, listen, man, you can't be out here trying to date, nigga. You ain't got no crib. You know what I'm saying? So let me address that shit real quick. Y'all homeless Romeo motherfuckers is played out, son. Y'all gotta stop. No more homeless Romeos, all right? Y'all homeless Romeo niggas, like, son, you ain't got time to be in love right now. You understand me? You ain't got time to be in love right now. Niggas is couch hopping. You been in shorty house for 5+ years, ain't never been on the leash. You understand what I'm saying? It's a fact, man. I'm just being real with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not picking no sides or nothing like that. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of y'all put yourself in these predicaments and then men are judged by that. You can't be out here for 10+ years slinging D to have a place to stay at, bro. And this goes for white men, black men, polka dot men, because I know some white dudes are doing it in Connecticut too. You know what I'm saying? Slinging dick for a place to stay. Excuse me. You know what I mean? That's not the move. If you ain't on that girl's lease or whatever the case may be, then, hey, man, you might want to think of other options other than dating. Dating may not be for you right now. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no place to stay, homie, dating should be your last thing on your mind. You know what I'm saying? My man Zoe Williams, he termed this shit correctly, a hobosexual. Hobosexual. It's getting cold out here, ladies. Y'all watch out for these Romeos. It's getting cold out here. When it's cold outside. It's gonna be showing up. White, black, polka dot, like this. Some of these dudes gonna be showing up. You know, Gloria always loved you. Yo, word of my mother, I'm trying to tell you. I tell my sisters that shit. I be like, don't have no homosexuals over there. You understand? And I ain't talking about a motherfucker gotta be paying all the bills either. Because that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you first starting out. I had that situation where, I don't know, I guess I say, shorty, she helped with state and local. I helped with federal. Does that make sense? That's how the house went. You know what I mean? You help out with state and local. I'll take care of federal. You know what I mean? And we brought it like that. She had money in the bank. I had money in the bank. So when you get with a girl from poverty, or you get with a girl that's got a thirst to have money, you got to be very careful. She would do anything in her means to not go back to that poverty because she has no foundation. Her foundation has been being with you. See what I'm saying? Now that's very different from a girl. That's why I be trying to tell y'all. My ex was a nerd. I hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. My ex was a nerd. Yale girl. Very, very. She told me words I never even heard in my fucking life, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. And I went to college. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I talk rough, but that's how I prefer. My uncles and them talk rough. They military men. So, make no mistake about it. There's a different elk with these girls. And I'm trying to tell you, what y'all need to stop doing is, y'all trying to marry up and wipe up girls that got tattoos, girls that got high ambitions because they come from poverty. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to be on the same elk of what they think white women are, and you know, whatever the case may be. You got a lot of girls out here that's basically fucking actresses and actors. That's why I speak the way I do. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be a fucking actor. That's just ridiculous. Go fuck yourself. So for me, when I see these girls, they put on these caricature acts or whatever, especially down here in New York. Just hear me out. Especially when I'm down here in New York. Now I live in Fairfield County, Connecticut. We got girls out there. I'll give you an example. I've been to Candace Owens' house where she grew up and showed you guys that. We have, who else is from our area? Jen Psaki, who was the White House press secretary. She's from my area. 15 minutes away from me, you got Diana Ross that lives there in her enclave. So you understand what I'm saying? Tommy Hilfiger and his brother live in my area. So for me, you know what I'm saying? I know those girls when they're preppy like that and they grew up like that. It's very different from girls that are pretending that they grew up preppy. Oh, that's a devious bitch right there if I ever seen one. That's the most manipulative bitch in America. Whenever I hear that octave, hey guys, how you doing? I'm like, I got tons of white friends, so none of my white friends talk like that. I don't know none of my Italian friends, none of my Greek friends. Hi guys, how you doing? How's it going? When I hear that octave, I'm like, okay, what kind of bullshit you on? It's an octave for me that facilitates there's some manipulation in the conversation. Anytime I used to hear that in the music business, I'd be like, yeah, he's gonna fuck us. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he's gonna fuck us. Trust me. Trust me on it. Trust me on it. He was too articulate. I don't like people that are overly articulate. Like, you gotta sneak in a curse word. I've met some of the biggest men that you could think of. Clive Davis, right here in this building, right behind me, 1540 Bravo, where I used to work at for over, 7 years in this building. Then from there to Ariston, then from there to Interscope. I done sold music. So I'm telling you something from somebody that has experience, okay? Most of the guys that I was around, especially the older white guys that worked in the building, one thing I think that they loved was a motherfucker that could use their natural tone and still deliver what they were trying to say comprehensively, but not be this jargon of fucking articulation that seems like it's fake from a mile fucking away. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust people. I'm talking about black, white, Latin, I don't give a fuck. I don't trust people that use a certain octave because you'll find this octave is usually universal with fuck motherfuckers. They gonna fuck you some kind of way. You know, the motherfucker that take you for your loan, he smile at you and talk in that same octave. The people that sell you your insurance, they talk to you. I used to sell records. So trust me when I tell you, people talk at a certain tone and connotation and octave when they trying to sell you something. That goes hence back to what I was saying. They gonna fuck you over. Now, I know a lot of people don't like I talk rough. I know. But it has to be said. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to lower the screen down because something's going on here. And I don't want this phone to die on us. My brother just hit me. Listen, at the end of the day, everybody got a cell phone, homie. Listen, at the end of the day, I'll say to you like this. I'm hoping not only Puff doesn't go to jail tomorrow, I'm hoping that Puff actually gets the opportunity to defend himself heavily. You understand what I'm saying? And if he's got something to do, you silly, you know Diddy. You silly, you know Diddy. You silly, you know Diddy. Are you a boy? Yeah, your name is Jermaine Rodriguez. Esta puta sucia, tú sabes, pero en su boca. Ya acá en su boca, tú sabes. Tú no sabes un Puffy. Tú no sabes la rapera, no nada. La música, no nada. So ya acá en su boca. Tú sabes, estúpido. Ja. Don't worry, I got him out of here. Y'all let me know when it be people in here. Yeah, like Jalen said, like, share, subscribe. Definitely like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all get this out to your friends and everything else. I appreciate it, guys. Cuffing season. Dina Davis. That ain't even cuffing season. I think I know what you're referring to. That ain't even cuffing season. You got a lot of dudes out, like, especially out in my area. Like, my area, it switches between being rural and city. So I live in a city, right? But like the rest of it's a county. So Fairfield County has like a whole bunch of little small towns. New London County's the same way. Hartford County's the same way. And they all got one city. So whether it's, we got two cities. But you know what I mean? Each one of them's got their own little city. It's a county. So it's a lot of towny shit to go on. You know what I mean? It's New England. It is what it is. Point I'm getting at is, most of these bloggers that you get that are the most comprehensive on these stories or whatever, they come from areas just like I'm explaining. They come from areas just like I'm explaining. So when I say they come from rural areas and you're talking about something that's happening in New York City, you're talking about something that's happening in New Jersey, I just gotta say, are you out of your fucking mind? You sound retarded. That's like me report apartment. That's like me reporting on something that happened in fucking Pocahontas, Nebraska. I don't live in Pocahontas, Nebraska. I don't know what the temperature is in Pocahontas, Nebraska, to be honest with you, nor do I give a fuck. So why would you have bloggers that were getting picked up by Nancy Grace, that was getting picked up by CBS, that was getting picked up by ABC, down there at the courthouse, who was down there, and they're exclusively interviewing them. They're not interviewing nobody from the New York City tri-state. There was a girl that got brought on Nancy Grace. She's from California. There was a guy that got brought on to, I forgot what this guy's name is, but he was on her show, his show every night, and then he was on the other woman's show too as well, and I think Nancy Grace valued him on too. Shout out to Amon Wiggins. I ain't got no problem with you, but it's the same thing. Amon Wiggins came here from California just for the trial specifically. He didn't, you know what I mean, migrate here, nothing like that. He came here for the trial specifically for a 3-week, 4-week period. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So these people wasn't even adapted or even. Hey guys, I'm sorry about that. I will be back. I just plugged my phone back up just in case y'all was still here. Sorry about that. Sorry with that. I'm getting ready to go home. I will hit you guys later, all right? Bye.